Welcome to the buy-in for, this is July 23rd, 2023.
This episode is going to be fucked. It is going to be...
This is the Hell
Week.
Week episode.
Week.
We're doing some content today that's so fucking brutal that I don't know if we're going to make it through the full videos.
No, but...
We've got this iDubbbz, Francesca, Ramsey, Ola Renati, black woman, feminist shit. iDubbbz is literally bending over to get fucked up the ass by big black cock. iDubbbz is basically... It's like the scene in Django where the black woman is tied up to the post getting whipped. But iDubbbz is the black woman getting whipped. This is some weird, like, sorry for slavery, reparations, fucking buck breaking.
This is
poor little white boy cuckold shit.
And by the way, everyone, if you don't know my history, I used to do these, the Andy Warski videos. I used to have something. What was it called? The MTV Decoded. Yeah. Wow, I can't even remember. Where I was in a feud with Francesca Ramsey.
Yeah.
And folks, Francesca Ramsey comes out. She returned. She's out of her white husband has divorced her.
Yeah.
She's lonely. She's sad. She's apparently a writer. She was on that show Superstore.
Oh my God, was she really on
for
that show?
a few episodes?
So what we're about to watch, we're going to watch iDubbbz confess his sins. So iDubbbz is going to be the representative for the entire white race as he just confesses what a horrible piece of shit racist that he is. Now, what's the saddest about this is like the comments. So if we can actually scroll down into the comments.
Okay, so let me just do one thing.
We can see iDubbbz master, his wife, leaving a comment saying what a great experience this was for Ian to flagellate himself before two black women and prostrate himself as a little bitch. This is fucking some sad shit.
I gotta open up this browser here.
What, are we in Microsoft Edge now, buddy?
Well,
we're using Microsoft Edge, buddy?
No, just for this.
Holy shit, what a nightmare.
You're in the fucking depths when you're
We're
using
in the depths of depravity now. Microsoft Edge.
Here it is.
Here's Anissa. Thanks for bringing Ian on to talk and being more than fair with him. They are not fair at all.
No.
They just tear him to pieces. I know he felt really good about the conversation and talked about it for days after.
No.
This was a really nice watch, and I enjoyed the back and forth with Francesca. I think this is a helpful convo for just base understanding of world is the way that it is, and I hope more people can be honest and open in the future so we can get to a better place. It continues. We really appreciate you and I admire you. So just iDubbbz's wife just coming in, emasculating him, embarrassing him, basically acting as his owner. It was her idea for him to go on this and just prostrate him, get on his belly, and just beg these black women to forgive him for his racism.
Wouldn't you rather be single and be jerking off to VR porn all day until you die?
I'd rather just be dead.
Yeah, it's true. Yes, exactly.
This is so fucking bad. Look at this black bitch, the way she's looking at him, just the sheer disgust, the hatred. Like, look at her, like, lip there. Just, like, look at it. It's just, like, this poor guy is just, like, crying out his soul, like, oh,
look at this subtitle right here. Creators and black people in general.
This is how it goes. She's just holding the whip hand over iDubbbz's fucking bitch-made ass.
This is one of those women who, like, have fights at Popeyes.
Gary, I don't know if we're going to make it through the first 10 minutes of this. Like, I'm going to be real. The first 10 minutes of this is some of the most frustrating shit you're ever going to just hit play.
All right.
In general, have had to deal with the environment that me and other creators have made.
Because if we had the ability to cancel you, you wouldn't have been successful in the first place.
And
do you see?
So you
shouldn't even have ever been successful. We wish we could have canceled you.
He's begging.
Like, he's literally got his hand, please forgive me. Please let me have a career, black people, please. Like, this bitch is the judge of whether or not you get to earn $1 and you're not just homeless on the street dead.
What a fucking bitch.
This is who Ian has become. Ian is literally the most bitch-made pussy in the world.
She's so ugly.
I know.
She's got no hairline here. Her eyebrows are fake. She's just a
jawline.
Masculine. Yeah, look at this jaw. Is she trans?
Huge fucking nose. It may as well be.
I totally get Francesca's feelings of like, you can't like undo 5-10 years of harassment.
Just kill yourself then. You
like,
did 10 years of
racist,
harassing.
Not being a bigot is the bare minimum. We're not giving out cookies for that.
Exactly, iDubbbz.
Yeah.
Get on your knees and pay. Open your wallet. Give Francesca your money.
I want to preface this video with a disclaimer. If you are somebody who innately finds the mention of race or racism agitating, turn this video off.
I'm so condescending. Like, I'm your teacher. I'm your mummy. And I'm teaching a class of 3-year-olds. If you're somebody who just can't handle it, turn it off. You!
This bitch.
Oh, God, it's so...
She's a man. You could
She is just an absolute... But she's like, you're like a little preschool 3-year-old because you're white. Oh, little white boy, sit there and listen to me lecture you.
Do you know of her at all? Like, do you know her?
No, nobody knows who this bitch is.
The reason I asked that is I'm saying, like...
Her eyes look insane.
Imagine
she looks like a fucking crazy... This bitch ain't got dick down in a long time. That's why the way she is.
Yes.
She ain't got no pipe. If somebody this is what no dick does to a bitch. For real. This is what lack of dick and male attention and validation does to a bitch.
Love is because you are not gonna find it here, babes, and we are being productive today. This is not a drama video.
Really
it's not a video about canceling anyone. It's not even a video
sure it's
about...
not. No, it's definitely not about canceling anybody who ever said anything slightly in disagreement with your politics or racial view of the world. No! Absolutely not. This is a video about understanding and love, just, only if you're black. If you're a white man, be prepared to take that whipping. Boy. Get in the field, step and fetch it for your master.
She has not got a fucking cock. She's seen one in a while. And if she has, it's like beta male.
Well, I don't know. This is
flaccid.
Just crazy. This is like the person that's supposed to be running the world.
Yeah.
Like, we're all just supposed to bow in deference to this.
But Michelle Obama right here.
I have a Gengar plush. Okay.
Oh, she has that.
I have Dragon Ball art.
Isn't that pedophile show?
Oh, is it a pedophile show? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. I forgot what it's called.
I'm not familiar with the pedophile show.
The one on Big Mouth?
Oh, you're familiar with it.
You're a cocksucker. I've seen right-wing people bash the show, you piece of shit.
You're familiar with it, huh?
I'm gonna kick your ass.
That's funny.
There's who create platforms doing bigoted content and apologize.
You're a N-word.
It's about trying to get to the root of how these platforms come to exist in the first place, why they seem to persist in spite of the communities.
Because everyone thinks it's funny.
I hate her.
Look at this pause.
Much.
Ching chong.
Oh my god.
Take a number 4, please.
Her face is so shiny. There's like 3 fucking points of light.
Yeah,
like,
boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
I
don't want her in my room. We'll never spend the night
actively
together.
Telling those creators that it causes harm, and what, if any, material things those creators can do to mitigate the harm
give us money.
And
material things. Material.
Yeah. So what money can you give me to make up for your sins? Now, if you pay me, I'll forgive you on behalf of black people.
These broke fucking bombs.
Their sincerity, so we, as an audience, can better determine who is being genuine.
Oh my god! So if you don't pay us, if you don't bend the knee, then you're not genuine.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said the N-word. Like, calm down, bitch.
And who's just trying to make some kind of leftist rebrand. Because the reality is, this exists. This happens. So what do we do going forward? This is not a video about...
So what? So what you're saying is, you dumb whore, is that, like, people on the right who try to, like, be leftist? Oh, it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't you want them to be on your side? No.
Push
them
they'll
away.
Never be forgiven no matter what they do, no matter what they say.
You can't be a leftist rebrander.
No.
The only person who managed that was Hunter Avalon, and look what happened to him.
Yeah.
Look what happened to him.
He didn't even manage it. Everybody hated him over there anyway.
Yeah. And
the
now
only
he's
people
the biggest
he
cuck
had
in
were
the
some
world.
Loshites. Like, that's it.
condemnation. It is about problem solving, and it's about recognizing very real realities, very different kinds of harms and different perspectives and opinions people are entitled to have around harm that is caused. I interviewed iDubbbz, or Ian.
iDubbbz caused so much harm. iDubbbz just set race relations back. It basically put black people back in chains.
Slavery, yeah.
He set them back to the fields to pick cotton while him and Anissa whipped their asses with whips and drank mint juleps on the porch. That's what we're meant to believe. We're meant to believe that iDubbbz was hosing black people off the sidewalk who were protesting for their civil rights. That he unleashed police dogs on Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
And Martin Luther King lost his leg to gangrene because of iDubbbz. This is what we're meant to believe. All iDubbbz did was drop the N-bomb. Who gives a
flying
do, because I'm black and I was hurt and the generational trauma and I couldn't even do my own laundry for 3 weeks. Are you fist me? I couldn't apply for a job because of the generational trauma of the iDubbbz video.
Well, they're gonna say him saying the N-word is what it created. Like, he created the N-word, basically. That's what they're gonna
basically did a Klan rally where he burned a black person on a cross.
Yeah.
A real black person burned to death, screaming, "Please, Ian, let me off the cross! The flames! The flames! The flames, Master Ian!" And he's like jerking off. Ha ha ha! Burn, Blackie! Ha ha ha! Okay. So that's when he has to get down here and tears in his eyes. "Please forgive me, massive black woman." Jesus.
Uncaring.
But before I show you that interview, I need to first give you a little backstory.
We need context.
Why?
Oh, yeah.
We need to hear about race. Let's go.
I interviewed him, so you have the problem.
I'm already mad. This sucks.
No, it gets really bad.
This is fucking hell.
Context to view it in, because again, this is not about him as an individual. He is a case study.
It's about
which is
white
why
people.
I first interviewed Francesca Ramsey, an amazing writer, comedian, actor.
Ew. That's a Photoshop
She's
and a half.
like Jada Pinkett Smith,
Wait
but
till
the black man for like.
Look
she
at
looks
this
like a man.
chest. That's fake.
This is crazy.
Wait, she has like a chest plate. It's like an alien style chest plate. Look at this.
It's like power armor.
Yeah, what the?
Two skin tones don't even match.
No.
Also, somebody that iDubbbz had personally attacked and caused a harassment campaign to wage against her for years.
Massive
I started thinking about
harassment
this because I
campaign.
co-host a show called The Leftist.
He
Mafia.
caused it.
And a couple
He
of
told
months
them
ago,
all
we
to
had
do
to
it.
remove one of our co-hosts, Illuminati, when substantial evidence was brought to the table to show that she had a history of attacking and harassing every creator that seemed to cross her path. But more than that, we learned that she had done what I like to call the leftist rebrand. It's when white content creators build platforms on what they call edgy but bigoted content, and then after years of causing harm...
This is why you should never rebrand. Fuck 'em.
No, there's no
You say
point.
sorry, you bend the knee, you beg them, make 18
There's no
videos.
point because I've become a lot more moderate regarding a lot of my beliefs
Same.
over time. Especially on stuff like healthcare, stuff like that. But, I can't suddenly say, "Oh, well, I'm a leftist," because you'll never be accepted. You
Ever.
can't be a liberal on,
Unless you're trans.
Well, it's not even enough. Like, even if you're trans now, they still shit on you.
Yeah, it's true.
There's literally nothing. You have to literally be like a trans BIPOC in a wheelchair. And even then, there's still some motherfuckers saying, "Actually, you didn't read enough of the literature. You don't understand the theory of Marxism."
Yeah.
Actually, I'm the real fucking carrier of the torch of Marx and the theory and blah, 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 blah. Like, these fucking people, man, they're just like wolves. They eat their own. People on the right think that there's no infighting in the left. Oh, there is.
Oh, there is.
Every fucking day, it's about who's racist, who's fucking pure, who's not pure. And the purity spiraling is on an unreal level. To even where now that iDubbbz is just literally a groveling, pathetic, pussy-made, bitch-made homo, it's still not enough. And it's never going to be enough. He has to personally grovel to these black women, demand their approval. He has to open his wallet, give them cash. It's still not enough. It will never erase his sins. And he will always be viewed as the worst piece of shit that could have ever walked the earth.
Apparently.
Just not even because of his edgy content, but just because he is a white man.
Yeah. Oh, basically.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with his past at this point.
And attacking absolutely anybody who criticized them for it. They simply apologize to their audiences who not only never cared that they did it, loved them precisely because they did it. And that audience, of course, forgives them because it was never their harm to forgive. And they go on business as usual.
It's your
the problem
harm
with
to
these
forgive.
redemption arcs or rebrands, however
On
you choose to
behalf of all
characterize.
black people.
How about... I'm actually like seething.
Oh yeah.
Is that one, you never really know who's being sincere versus just making some
Bitch, fix your nail. Like, what is
Well,
this?
that's why we can never forgive anybody, right? Because you never can not tell if they're sincere, so them.
Yeah.
kind of pivot for their own financial or professional gain. 2, there are rarely any concrete acts of atonement made to or for the individuals or communities that were actually harmed.
Do you want them to, what, give you millions and suck your fucking dick?
They're usually left entirely out of the conversation. 3, while it does theoretically make sense to want to forgive people for doing something wrong and then recognizing that and wanting to do better, little exploration is had into whether or not giving out that forgiveness so freely incentivizes other white creators to build their platform.
Oh, man.
Why should we want your forgiveness for anything?
Because you have to have it, or else the people who actually run the platforms will just pull your shit. They'll pull your banking unless you bend the knee to these black women. See, that's the problem, is like you're not even allowed to make a dollar or have an opinion unless this fucking, I can't use the words I want to use, unless this fucking
bitch,
absolute total bag bitch approves of you. You're not allowed to have a voice or make a dollar. It's like we're incentivizing bigotry, and who can we tell if they're sincere? Holy fuck, man.
This way, knowing they will be excused in the future. And 4, little exploration is had into why those creators didn't seem to realize their behavior was apology worthy when the communities they were harming were actively telling them it was. As Francesca put it,
they will make you a target.
Look at her here. Look at this fucking busted bitch.
Wouldn't you think that that's a man?
Holy,
you had no other context. Wouldn't you think that
yes,
that's a man?
It's like George Floyd's brother or something. Look at her. She's so ugly.
There's nothing feminine there at all.
So ugly.
And they will make you their jumping off point, and they will use bigotry as a come up.
Yes.
And I don't.
She hates me. This woman.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, whatever. She would put a bullet in my head.
Want to be right, it's bittersweet.
Yeah.
But as I'm seeing it happen, I'm like, I said this would happen years ago.
Yes.
Years. Not a month ago, not a week ago, years. Check the receipts. I said this would happen, and it absolutely did.
So while I'd been thinking about all that, I came across
I'm so glad she's divorced and depressed. You know, she made a video. I'll have to find it. It was on, I forgot what platform, Insta or some shit, about how she's been on a billion dates, but every guy ends up hating her. I wonder why. It's all men, right? It's all men, not because you're a
tweet by Francesca.
I didn't intend on making a video.
Look at her!
That's
for only 10 cents a day, you could feed a starving African
child.
Look at this. I have dark circles under my eyes just naturally, right? But this is... Was she beat? Was she abused?
I don't know. The lack of hair is what makes her look so
look at her eyes
manly
here.
and gross.
Her eyes are it's like a wax mask.
About this, but I'm so angry that I just have to say something.
So angry.
Get it out.
Imagine.
I'm so angry.
Look at this fucking. I swear to God, bro, I went to high school with a man that looked just like this guy.
I am so angry. I am so angry.
Out and let it go. So recently there's been a wave of people who've made bigoted content on the internet coming forward and apologizing. TikTok, we've got Kelly Cagdon. On YouTube, we have...
So then, don't apologize. No one apologize for your past.
iDubbbz, I think is how you say his name.
Shut the
years...
Okay.
I
He's
think
just
to
a nobody.
He's
so beneath your purview, Francesca.
Shut up.
Past, we've had Shane Dawson.
Is his name
and
iDubbbz?
all of these people I have different relationships with. So I hosted a show for MTV called MTV Decoded. I actually created the show.
I shit on it.
I wrote on the show. I hired tons of incredible people.
Wait for it.
I made a lot of great content that I am very proud of. But at the time that the show was on, I dealt with a lot of harassment.
That was me!
Yeah,
that was me!
Good. I'm glad.
That was me! And I don't apologize to you, you bitch.
because of it from these people that labeled themselves anti-social justice warriors and feminists on YouTube. iDubbbz, and he made a number of videos where he used the N-word fully uncensored, where he put my face in videos.
Fair, I never called her the N-word. I think I made a joke. I was like, and then it cut to like the intro.
So
like, you know what I mean?
You know, and
whoa, no, not whoa, no, not exactly the perfect descriptor for you. Not that. Anything but calling you what you really are, you fucking mongoloid savage.
Eyebrows way too high? Look at this.
Are they drawn on with a Sharpie?
Like, I don't even know.
Did she glue pubes to her
what the
cancer, and like my work made him want to kill himself. Most of these videos.
Well, you know what? Yeah. It makes me want to kill myself to this day. Just you saying these words provokes such a visceral like hatred from me that it makes me want to end myself so I don't have to hear them anymore. It does.
So I can't show them to you, but I've seen them, and he created a culture.
Evil. There was a whole culture that was created to hate me.
Yes, there was, because you deserved it.
And a fan base that then harassed me. So did Shane Dawson.
And the caption on the video read, a response regarding creators who rebrand or outright denounce their past racist or bigoted content via apology video. The culture of harassment and bigotry you've created and profited off is not erased with a sorry or a rebrand. When I looked at the people that she had tagged, I realized that iDubbbz and I followed each other because I attended Creator Clash earlier this year with my friend LOL Overruled. So I went down the rabbit hole, starting with the apology. Which, listen,
well, wait
as far as these
Wait a minute. iDubbbz is such an evil motherfucker. Just like responsible for slavery, Jim Crow, the Holocaust, you name it. He's responsible for it all. But you lined his evil pockets by going to Creator Clash. Why would you do that?
Whoa.
He's a white man. He doesn't deserve a nickel or a dime. In fact, he should have paid you millions just to be there because you're a black woman with an attitude.
Well, in realistic, he'd pay them $50,000, which he did, for people to be in attendance.
Yeah, well, why didn't she get $50,000? She's a black dude with a bad tude.
By the way, speaking about boxing, we watched the new Misfits boxing.
Oh, Misfits 08 was
We'll talk about it later. I
it was trash. iPop.
Yo, guys.
He blows out his shoulder. He looks like a crackhead.
You gotta talk about it later.
iPop.
Apology videos go. It was a better.
He was so flagrant, and I will say, like, I'm not one to give out cookies. I watched his whole apology video, and I will say, like, in the grand scheme of responses, he did a better job than most.
So, like, the best one,
it's still
the best one is still not good enough.
It's nowhere near good enough. Where is the reparations for her specifically? Every black person that needs money, he needs to give it to.
Yeah.
Basically, he needs to end homelessness for black people.
I'm sick of this.
Isn't it crazy though? Like all they're doing though is sticking their hand out. Like, excuse me, where's my money?
Please,
where's my money for just existing as a black person? It's every time.
So I'm gonna say that he probably had someone advising him, which I don't think is a bad thing. It's probably a smart thing to do. But again,
he did. Anissa, you dumb.
It's just not enough for me. It's not
enough. It's not. It will never be enough.
What's the point?
There is no point. You just embarrass yourself in front of your core audience who lose faith in you and believe you're a cock, and then the people who hate you still hate you.
Yeah.
And won't ever forgive you. That's why they're f***ed over on the left there, because nobody's gonna come over there. Because so it's like, okay, if you don't come over here, we're gonna make you homeless. Oh, you have come over here? Well, we're going to make you homeless anyway. We're going to break you down to the point where you're just a pathetic, blubbering mess.
Yeah.
That gives us all of your money, bows to us, and then we're just going to put you in the gutter anyway and cancel you. Like, there's nothing you can do.
No.
And I hope that he's genuinely committed to being a better person. And again, like, I listened to it and maybe he is, but like...
Notably, though, in his apology, he singled out only one creator. At first, the only name he singles out to apologize to in this video
is a white woman.
Yeah. Ha! up.
To who?
It was only the white woman, the woman where he goes. He goes
Tanya.
Tanya, where he goes to the convention.
Was that her name?
I think that was her name. But yeah, he didn't
Tanya
specifically
Mongo
apologize to
Mongo?
every single black person by name on the earth. So it's not good enough.
Francesca,
And if it was three, if it was four, if it was five. How many names? Because that would be. He only apologized to 12 black women.
Ashton, you wake up.
He only apologized to 30. How about the hundreds of others? How about the thousands of people in the comment section? Will he apologize one by one, no matter how many black women he apologized to? It wouldn't have been enough. If it was 3, 4, 5, what number would make them happy? There's no number. There's no number. It would only 5? Really? Only 5?
This is what you're apologizing to.
Yeah. It's pathetic.
They're laughing. You grovel, you cry.
And they laugh at you and go, it was just a white woman you apologized. Where was my personal apology, foot rubbing $1 million? Like, this is what it's about. And they're just lording power over him.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's bad.
I mean, you know, I clocked that immediately.
See, I didn't know who she was, so I assumed she was a black woman, right? Based on the context of
You can't speed it up at all. You can't. If you speed it up, it just sounds fucking like death.
video.
But did you go down the rabbit hole of how that situation started? I mean, the levels of irony. You apologizing to a white girl for using the N-word who also used the N-word?
Who used to at herself?
Also used the N-word, and you thought,
oh no,
I want to die. I actually want to die right now.
Miss Finster, they used the N-word.
This is the
Daddy government, they used the N-word. Daddy Bezos, Daddy Susan Wojcicki, they used the naughty N-word, and now they shouldn't be allowed to live.
This is actually the worst video I've ever seen.
And you thought that you were going to check her on using the N-word, but
using the N-word.
Also using it. Come on, we in an Inception territory.
But I do think it's a conversation that needs to be had with the centering of whiteness, even within your recognition of wrongness or.
Oh yeah, Ashton. This is the things of my nightmares.
Yeah.
Going forward, there's still not.
They're both single women, divorcee, never seen a dick in her life, and if she has, it's like a flaccid beta dick. Telling a man that his sorry is not good enough. Who gives a these twats? All right, your girlfriend's mad at you. I'm sorry, honey.
It'll never.
Your friend's mad at you, bro. I'm sorry. Black random women? No.
Not only is there a centering of white women in even the apology or the aftermath, but it's even the center of what I believe drove the desire to go this path. Because I think his audience, what happened is the audience...
They were attacking his wife.
And that is the T. And that's the T.
And that's the T. That's the T. No cap T. T. Oh, I fucking hate this shit.
Whoever uses the word T deserves a fucking B in the back of the H.
Oh my God.
Am I right or am I wrong?
No, you're right. They do.
Real.
I hate it.
And that's what I'm like, so...
I told Ashton, so I poured a glass of wine before we started the show. And I went, you know what? I'll drink later. No, I'm fine. I'm going to say, I regret that decision.
Real for you when a white woman was hurt. And in the apology, it's only a white woman who is singled out and apologized to, because I'm like, well, you're apologizing.
Where the black women had to be groveled to. Mm-hmm. Oh,
God.
Apologizing for making racist and bigoted content, and yet no black person has been individually named, right?
And to be fair, like, I don't need him to check me by name. I would prefer...
What? What do you mean?
Want that? They don't want anything. They just want to
be mad forever and ever and ever.
Prefer my name
to stay
out of it, but at the same time...
I'd prefer my name stay out of it, but at the same time...
I did, similarly to you, clock the irony of him devoting a substantial part of that video directly to Tana.
They're so proud.
It wasn't about Tanya or Tanya, whatever her name was. It was about the fact that he goes sane on like
She has in her eyes, the girl on the left, the same gleam in her eyes that a predator has.
Yeah,
you know?
when they're
just about
kill.
to tear into like a dying baby gazelle. That's basically like that, like this in fresh meat, this baby gazelle iDubbbz has been thrown in, and
That's
they're
the
just
hyena.
they're hyenas, and they're just gonna rip him to pieces, and they're so excited. Oh, fresh meat, a white man willing to grovel to us. Yes, we can feel powerful today. Yes.
And even,
but they just have to set up the whole humiliation ritual with this like 10-minute.
No, look, we're not gonna forgive him, but we'll talk to him. Just so we can make some clicks. And how many views? 73K.
It's not even very many views.
Like,
this is one of the worst things I've ever seen, though, in my life. Leftist Mafia. Oh, God. I should start a show called Leftist Mafia. My leftist mafia would be sick. I'd be the best leftist. I already am.
Yes.
I already am the most effective leftist on. These people can't do shit. You know?
I think Xander Hall, right? He fucking called us Nazis. Like, have you seen our show?
I know. I'm punching right all day, every day. But this is making me reconsider. I'm like, maybe I should. Maybe I should just be railing at these black women all day.
Rebranding,
it's not good for my health, though. This frustrates me so bad.
It's painful. It's actually painful.
And she was making this like bigoted content, and then she really kind of moved in a different direction, and that was what he called out, supposedly, that led down that path. So again, it rings hollow for me, especially because I've been on the internet a very long time, and I've watched this happen numerous times, and I've seen people come and go, and the people who are able to remain relevant and the ones who are able to continue to have a platform evolve, and sometimes it is authentically so, and other times it's like, oh my god, I gotta move, I gotta change shit up because they're about to cancel me, I'm about to get out of here, and it's like...
I have to set the stage for this kind of video because when you talk about racism, there are people who just feel personally attacked. They automatically feel like you're making a personal indictment of them, and from that moment forward, they are in defense mode.
You are. You literally are.
Somebody is racist because what you guys do with that is you make it the worst thing that you possibly could be. To the level where these people will even say it's better to be a child molester than to be a racist.
Yeah, they will.
They'll actually say shit like that. Whereas it's really not that big of a fucking deal at all. And everybody has some degree of prejudice
which
to
they
them.
do.
Or some degree of fucking in-group preference,
which
is natural.
But
or
they
like
also
fear
have that
of the
too,
outsider. Well, of course they do. It's all just power politics, but through identity. It's like just the most worthless shit. Okay, because I was born black. I've been so fucking oppressed, and I need your money. That's what it's about. I need your money. I need a position of privilege in society. I need to be able to be the judge of people's sins. And so she's appointed herself the judge of all white people, the judge of whether or not they're racist or not, whether they deserve to have a job in society, be allowed to provide for their families, put food on the table for their children. This black bitch has decided that she's the judge of the world. And she's the judge of white people. And so we just have to sit here in her court of bullshit and listen and watch as iDubbbz just pathetically grovels for his life. I'm not racist, please. I didn't mean it. The context doesn't matter, slave.
Wow, did you even...
Lower your eyes before me.
They said it twice already, by the way. They say, like, to forgive someone is giving someone a cookie.
Yeah.
Here's a cookie.
Well, they act like they're a fucking child.
Like
they're the adults because they're black, but all white people are infantilized children, ignorant as they don't know. They haven't been to the God-renowned black college to be taught about how black people are the gods of our society and must be worshipped no matter what.
Yeah.
You haven't been to the God-renowned college, and even if you were to the hallowed halls of these institutions and you know the theory and the bullshit, don't worry, there's some new theory or bullshit that some Jewish woman cooked up in Chicago this week. So actually, like, your terms are outdated and you're an ignorant Philistine, which is what a lot of liberals from the 90s and 2000s have realized now. It's like, shit, I was for equality and stuff. I'm colorblind. Colorblindness is the real racism. You thinking we the same as whites? That's wrong. Fuck, we be oppressed and shit, so you need to treat us better. Give us your fucking money, boy.
That's
I mean, that's how it is.
That's nuts.
their adversary. Because what they're really hearing is, you think I'm a bad person. You think I consciously decided to be racist. But the reality is a lot more nuanced and a lot less personal than that.
The word nuance in this situation is
it's impersonal. I mean, white people should just be put in the trash compactor and fucking eliminated.
Yeah, just kill them.
Impersonally.
Right?
The reality is that if you recognize that racism is pervasive in a society, that there is systemic racism, that we are all being raised and educated and indoctrinated.
It's systemic. Now, we've changed the system a lot, but it's still systemic.
It's still systemic, though.
I mean,
that word.
In a society has woven racism and anti-blackness into our laws, into our media, into our schools.
Right. No, for sure. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's why black people are just allowed to go into stores and rob them without consequence. The cops don't even get called anymore. You know? It's just...
You have to show them the video of, remember that guy who was, what's his face? Dope District's friend. I don't remember his name. It's like, just show them that video. Is it fair yet?
Do you think the police are afraid to enforce the law on black people?
Yeah.
People are afraid to criticize a black person's behavior ever. People are forced to give positive reviews to Black Panther and shit. Otherwise, they're racist. Or whatever flavor of the month black exploitation film it is. Oh, Moonlight was so good about two blacks having gay sex.
You didn't like that?
No, Moonlight sucked cock.
I didn't watch that. Oh,
it was good. Nobody should watch it.
Fabric of our institutions, you will internalize.
And then we liked the blackening, and that was because the black people like finally having fun with the race.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they just didn't take itself that serious, and it wasn't that preachy, and like I don't know, like I don't need to subjugate black people or whatever. It's not what it's about, or like I don't want to see black people.
No,
that's not what it's about. But for these people, it's like, no, I don't want to see white people. I want white people excluded from society. I want white people subservient.
And groveling,
I want
crying.
them just always submissive, always their eyes down, always walking on eggshells, always afraid. Anything they do to me that I don't like, or any behavior they don't like, I can just always say is a microaggression and racist, and then get them fired from their jobs.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. Is just holding the power of life or death over people about their skin color. And they're just excited. They're like, yeah, shit, we have this whip hand now over there.
And perpetuate racism and anti-blackness. Whether you're aware, whether you consciously set out
How the is this 10 minutes and 18 seconds? Can we start the fucking video?
Identify.
I'm sorry. If you make a video and you have to do a 10-minute precursor, that's...
Oh, it is.
Whether you're a good person to the people in your life, whether you think you mean well or not, unless you make the conscious decision to recognize and unlearn these things and do better going forward. Although it is often received as such, it is not an innately personal indictment if you're a white person being told that something you do or say is racist. The problem is doubling, tripling, and quadrupling down, taking an utter refusal to hear or consider what entire communities are actively telling you. And it's often worse than just ignoring or refusing to hear those communities that these creators are causing harm to. Often, their audiences will attack those communities.
But, you know, again, like, not to give him cookies because it's the bare minimum, but...
I can't.
The bare minimum.
It makes me so mad.
It is very telling that he admitted that this was coming from a place of insecurity.
Take your cookies and shove them up your ass, you whore.
These people aren't insecure at all. Just made their whole lives based around their racial identity.
Yeah.
But they're not insecure at all.
Oh,
they're not insecure about their inferiority or their fucking lack of getting dick or their lack of attractiveness to men or just their lack of any sort of useful talent or skill in society. Yeah. They're not insecure about that at all.
Cry. And then all the
only white people who can be insecure, right? Only white men are insecure. Women are never insecure ever.
And look at these. Look at this guy here. Like, this is the guy, Grandpa Falthrick. It's like these white knights. Look at these white knights.
Any white person who uses the N-word to make money for comedy deserves to be canceled. That's what somebody wrote, for real.
Look at these white guys. White knights. Literal white knights. Listen, those black chicks, they want... Look at this guy. Holy, this is a thing of nightmares. My God.
Imagine being iDubbbz and going on to glaze these people as they laugh at you and degrade
and whip you.
security.
I am very insecure about my ability to create interesting content or like entertain. And
that's how all white men are, right? Yeah. They're all just insecure. It's all the male ego is fragile. This is the music to their ears. This is what they want to hear.
I, kept making this hurtful content. I don't want you to interpret that as an excuse, but I hope that is relatable to other creators who maybe struggle with the same thing. I'm not confident in my ability to entertain, and I think if I had to rely...
I hope he gets beaten to death in his next fight. Yeah. I really hope he just gets knocked out
Next fight. There's no next fight for him.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
On my personality...
He has to pull a Misfits and make it all rigged. Misfits 8? Is it 8, right?
It was some WWE
that was the
shit.
biggest rigged fucking bullshit.
To entertain people that I wouldn't have any amount of success.
Yeah. Because that was the thing that I picked up on too, where it's like, it's really easy to, and I'm guilty of this too, like I don't participate in, I used to like hate tweet stuff. I'd be like, I hate this show, so let me sit here and talk about it. And it's like, you know what? Even if I don't like the content, they did the work and they put it out in the world. And
so you have to be nice. Nice.
You can never be negative. Yeah. Round all the edges. Let's live in a hug box where everything is wonderful and isn't it so nice? You can't criticize anything, right? Other than white people and their behavior.
The best video game reviews, in my opinion, are like the mean ones. Or like the ones it's funny.
Well, everybody prefers people to be negative and tear things down and hate it than to be positive.
Roasting.
Yeah.
Instead of me doing the same thing, I'm sitting here hating on them and shitting on them when I could be putting this energy into making the thing that I'm actually interested and passionate about. And that's what a lot of these...
What do you make? What do you make?
Has she made like a movie?
No.
Creators that build platforms off of just
Let me search,
hating on things. It's like, it's because...
Can we just pause for a second? Let me just open up a separate window here. And while we're playing this, I want to...
but, Francesca, your whole platform that you had for so long was built on hating on white supremacy and hating on...
Not even white supremacy, just white people in general.
Anything in society that you didn't like or culture. That's what you built your platform and made your name off of. But other people aren't allowed to do the same? You're going to pull up the ladder in the name of positivity and love? Really?
Remember her... why ID is racist.
Yeah.
Why? And I broke it all down. I ruined her for a bit. I'm glad, bitch.
You can't create anything from scratch. You have to really...
She's like the most racist person in the world, by the way. She is.
Yourself out there to have an original idea, besides and time and energy into crafting it and building an audience. It's really easy to piggyback on somebody else's work and then just say, well, this sucks. It's like, okay. You literally have not made anything.
It's only men who do that, right? Wrote? No women are ever negative about anything.
Do you know what she wrote?
What?
Remember the nightly show with that black guy? And it was canceled? And
yeah.
She was a writer for that?
With Trevor Noah.
Her last shit, oh my God, was in 2021. Have you ever seen Yearly Departed?
No.
Dude, it's a bunch of black people at a funeral home. And they're like so happy 2020 because it was the worst year. And it was like that. Then she was in iCarly. She wrote for one episode. And then 2020, she was Disney Channel Holiday House Party. Here. Wait. Oh, yeah, she wrote for Ashton. Guess what she wrote for?
iCarly?
The fucking Oscars.
Like, what did she write on the Oscars?
I don't know. Black Girls Rock.
Well, I mean, this is really highly constructive stuff.
Oh, and
okay, so look at this, right? Yeah. So, like, let's look at this. Like, how many of this is just criticisms of other shit? Because I'm going to guess in the Oscars, it was probably critical of something.
Yeah.
Like, what? Decoded was like that. Black Girls Rock? Like, what the f*** is that?
Oh, my God. Yeah, she had a TV show for 3 episodes on Comedy Central.
Holy
Oh my God. I gotta find Ashton. It is the worst. It's amazing to watch here. Like, dude, it's so bad. It is the worst. It makes Blockbuster look like a blockbuster.
She wrote 91 episodes on The Nightly Show with Larry Fillmore.
I thought that lasted in like 3 episodes. What the
The White House
now look at this.
Correspondents' Dinner.
Decoded 1.9.
Well,
she lasted 3 episodes for the Francesca
like
show.
Really high level stuff.
This show, dude, I gotta find it. Yeah, she's on Superstar. Okay, anyway, I gotta find the Francesca show. You're gonna fucking die. Her jokes were so bad.
Were they?
And so again,
there's a whole skit about how people head to the club with their jackets on. Ashton, have you ever heard about this? Or at a bar or club, okay? You and your friends head to the club, but you all have your jackets, but no one wants to put their jacket at coat check, right? Because it's like you're going to get your jacket stolen. So what do you all do? You make the coat pile.
Wow.
On the dance floor. And then it turns into a musical about the coat pile. I'm not kidding.
It's truly the bare minimum, but him acknowledging that was coming from a place of like, am I actually even funny? Yeah, I believe that. I believe that you didn't know if you were funny without talking shit about other people's work.
I believe that. I 190% believe that. And I think that's actually, when I peel it back, that's actually what was a bigger problem for me when I realized it. Because I'm like, me recognizing that in the same way that you recognize that, both of us were inclined to give empathy, and both of us were like, you know, I understand the impulse to do this, I understand the impulse to shit on these things, I understand that, but you know what makes you feel, I think 2 things. One is Black people were always being asked of and expected and held in the place to always have to be compassionate and empathetic to people who are mistreating us. One, but two, it's because we as creators can appreciate what someone else has created and what goes into that, and that makes you have a different.
There's literally no website on the internet that has her show.
I don't blame anybody.
Kind of respect. So those 2 levels we respect it. On a human.
Surprised they didn't put that gem on Paramount Plus.
On Peacock, right?
Level we empathize because we're humans, and we empathize as creators. And on no level did he empathize. On none of those levels did he empathize with any of these people. So much so that even in this apology, none of them get singled. Where was the Jinx? Where was where were these people? Where was any?
Where was the
Jinx? That was the beginning of the end for Jinx's platform. And he's no longer on YouTube.
By the
and then
way,
I thought about
it's
that.
Now
That's
happening where there's now a huge interrogation of whether iDubbbz going after Jinx was racially motivated, and he just went after Jinx because of their race. Because of this video.
No, everyone shit on Jinx because he was like the first react. Now everyone reacts, and it's like fine.
The reason why you single out the white content creator, in addition to it being a white woman, because she's still here. Because she's still here.
And guess what? She was like, "Come on my podcast. Let's talk." They're just going to use this to then platform each other and continue to like raise their own profile, which is why I'm like, none of this holds water for me because, you know, again, like bars in hell, but the only person that I've really seen take any real measurable responsibility is Jenna Marbles. She said, I'm out. She said, I've built a platform, I've done some things that I'm not proud of.
Well,
okay,
so
the only way
you're okay is if
quit.
you just quit and just make no money and go into the gutter and let a Black person take your spot.
How about this? You. Well, of course Jenna could do that. She made like $800 million.
Yeah.
Like, of course she could go, I'm going to off now.
Patients were twofold.
Jenna knew there was no sorries. There was no. Right?
She was burnt out on creating content to begin with. I think that was just, you know, the timing was right, but she said, I'm not going to do.
Oh my God. So, you know, she did the right thing, but to be fair, though, she wanted to leave anyway. She had an excuse. Wow.
It's never gonna happen.
Never.
And again, like I don't think she needs me to accept her apology or anything, but at the same time, I'm like, you know, you're backing up what you're saying. Yeah. Like, I've profited off of this. I don't feel good about it, so I'm gonna bow out. And to me, it just feels like damage control to make the apology and then just move. Because even
okay.
Said at one point, he was like, I'm not going to just keep apologizing. I'm not going to keep making content about this. And I was like, yeah, exactly. This is you going, I'm done with this, and I never have to think about it again after this. When the reality is,
you need to think about it every day. Every moment of your life must be fixated on the crimes that you've committed against Black people. You're the reason they can't pass tests in school. They can't spell words. You're the reason that they're just violent. You're the reason they live in poverty. You're the reason Walmart's pulling out of their neighborhood. It's not that they keep robbing Walmart. and creating the food deserts that they complain about. No, it's your fault black people keep robbing Walmart. It's your fault because you said nasty things on the internet about a black person. Or not even, you just happened to not worship the correct black person that day. So therefore it's all your fault, and you need to think about it always, forever.
And ever.
And be tortured and just be a miserable person because you dared cross a person of a different ethnicity than you. Wow.
I'm really trying to find this one skit for you.
Off of this content. So
and I think that is actually, a place and something that I actually want to discuss, and I will discuss with him, because, normally we have conversations like reparations, just as a larger conversation in our society.
Reparations.
That becomes a harder, more nuanced conversation. People say, then who? Yeah, this is...
Who's going to get foundational black American?
This is really short.
All right.
This is really short. This is what I was talking about. This was her... Okay, it's a normal? Okay, cool. Her show.
Where should we pull over?
Yes, it was on Comedy Central. All right? Well, Ashton, that's the pile sketch.
Well, that was shit. All right. This is a real torturous episode.
Your reaction was just perfect. Well, that was just shit. Yes, Ashton. Was I exaggerating at all?
No.
I was actually probably underselling how bad it was.
It's exactly as bad as I thought it would be, really. It's
fair.
It's pretty much what it is what it is.
It's very...
No, we can see.
We know who and we know
receipts.
when. And I'm like, well, you know what? I think, and I'm going to talk to him about this, I think, what is a meaningful step? Because I know he said in the video, I am running ads on this video, and I'm going to donate to a foundation or something. The black people you harmed, of course, there are far more black people that have been harmed than just the individual content creators, and that you will have to atone for in some other way, and you probably will not be able to, right? That's just what that is, because you put that out into the world, and you can't take that back. Once you fester hate and white supremacy, it is what it is. But as far as the individual creators, you know who they are.
Did iDubbbz really fester white supremacy?
No.
Really? Was he doing because even he's not even as guilty as you are, but they're giving him the same sentence. It wasn't like iDubbbz was giving Richard Spencer a platform.
Yeah.
To debate Sargon or anything like that. It's not even what he's he didn't foment white supremacy and hatred.
No, not at all.
That's fucking insane. But you may as well, the problem is, right, everybody gets the same guilty sentence of you're a Nazi. You're a fucking white supremacist. For what? For making some videos where he said the N-word in them? That's fucking considered fomenting white supremacy? Holy fuck.
Ashton. I may or may have not found a couple of more sketches. We'll watch them later.
Oh God, man!
You go look at the privated videos on the videos. Every video you did, every content cop on a Jinx, what you did to you, what you did to all of them, and what was the revenue on those videos?
Okay.
And pay and cut some checks. Cut some checks.
Yeah, there you go. You see what the bottom line? And I told you, iDubbbz. I told you when you did this video. I go, well, where the the money then?
Yes.
Give back all the money. And exactly. iDubbbz, give back all the money. Jinx deserves every penny.
Every penny.
You made off that content cop, and probably all the money you've ever made, because they're black. Now, they might have been a up and all your criticisms of them were totally correct, but because they're black, that's racism what you've done. So you owe them all your money. Start cutting some checks, bitch.
I'm actually like...
No, they're just like, give us your money. That's what this is about. And he had to probably give them money in order for
How much do you think?
At least 10
50K?
grand he had to give each of them.
25K each?
Probably.
And
in order
again,
for them to forgive him, but they're not even forgiving him.
Yeah.
It's all about money. You see, this is exactly what it's about. Give us reparations, give us money.
Money.
You're guilty, and you'll never be forgiven.
No.
He did acknowledge that he has built a career.
Because there's like a million of these black women grifters, and you can't pay them all.
Yeah.
So another one will come up, be like, well, why was Francesca paid and I wasn't?
Yeah.
What the f***? So you're racist.
You only paid Francesca to get clout off it, but you weren't really helping all the black people. Like, it's the next and the next and the next and the next.
Because he's gone on to do other things outside of YouTube. I think he's doing this like boxing series or something like that, and I'm sure.
Shut the are you fucking dead?
You just don't even know.
We know. Doing. You haven't done anything because she was part of the writer's strike. Okay?
Oh, okay. So she ain't doing shit.
So she's like, hasn't worked in 3 years, 2 years or 3 years. Has done nothing. You know all about iDubbbz. What's his name? iDubbbz? Oh, yeah, he's doing some sort of boxing thing that everyone on YouTube talked about. Like, shut the fuck up, you dumb. I hate her.
Sure, he's making tons of money from that.
Yeah.
He got that platform off of those videos.
Good!
Oh, no.
Good!
You just get the opportunity to sell tickets.
So
and
how do we give that platform
Yo,
to
you
a
do
black
get that
person?
opportunity, you slut!
So he should turn the business over to a random black homeless person, right?
I'm like...
Because it was all built on white supremacy. Even taking aside that he didn't, even if he hadn't said anything racist, the mere fact that he is white, he's propagated from white supremacy. Yeah. So he owes everything to black people anyway.
Big events just because he's a great fighter. No, he got to do that because he built
he's a shit fighter, first of all.
Ginormous audience on YouTube.
Right.
And
good.
I don't know who his wife is. I don't watch her content, but his success has also
she
given...
isn't black.
Why should she have any...
So teach Anissa a lesson. Tell her she's bigoted. Go, Francesca.
Ability to have a platform, right?
Yeah.
There's like a trickle down to your point about reparations. We can see that the content that he created has opened doors for him beyond YouTube. So again, personally, I don't need a check from him. I'm good.
And I love that for you.
But I love that for me too. Honestly, I really do. But at the same time,
I love the idea that she's just entitled to a check from him. Like that, but she's like, I'm good. You owe me this check. Like I'm owed a lot of money from you. But I'm so gracious, and I love it for me that I don't need to take your money, and I wouldn't even because it's bigoted money anyway. But you owe it to me, so like that's crazy.
That's nuts.
They're like, I'm entitled to your money. Like that's
demented.
An apology is not enough for me.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything that he can do that will ever be enough.
Yeah.
Then
at least she's honest. She's like, there will never be anything you could do that would be enough. You could save 1,000 black children from the streets. You could feed black families, donate to the food bank, donate to the ACLU, donate to the NAACP, vote Democrat, do activism, turn people out for elections. It will never be enough.
Never.
Because he said the N-word. It will never be enough.
So what's the point then of this conversation?
Why don't you guys just kill him?
Yeah.
Honestly.
You may as well.
And I think that him and any of these other creators who rebrand, if you genuinely are looking to better yourself...
who else is rebranding
You have to pay us.
Who else is rebranding?
Nobody.
The
trend is already done. Like, it was done in 2019.
Yeah.
Like, what's his name? Hunter Avalon did it. Who else did it at that time? Shoe on Head, I guess, like, was indoctrinated into Vauchism, but she was never, like, a right-winger.
No.
She was anti-SJW, and she still kind of is. It's basically the same shit. Who else? There were a few people who flipped to do a leftist rebrand and had, like, Father Vosh forgive their sins.
I can't remember. That's what happened.
But they would come to him, and Chris Reagan maybe did that, I guess.
He doesn't even do videos anymore, I don't think.
No.
I'll search, but...
to acknowledge and accept that it won't be enough for some people.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. I don't think about you. I don't lose sleep over you. You should be moving forward in a way
you seem like you are.
Yeah.
Repairing harm and being better every day of your life.
Yeah.
Because that's the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Like, not being a racist, not being a bigot is the bare minimum. We're not giving out cookies for that.
Oh my god.
All right, well,
wait, Ash.
After 18 minutes of this shit.
Hear this. Or not here, but look at this. 1 month ago, 1 month, 2 months, 7 months, 8 months.
So in the last year, he's made about 10 videos.
Is this live shows? Did he do live? Not really.
Every 3 years.
Okay. And I want to see one thing here. Let's hit his videos. Does he not like create content anymore? Like,
hello.
Like, what's the Patreon at? So 156 patrons. Let's see what the memberships are. So, I mean, most of them are probably $5. So he's making, what, $1,000 a month? Unless they're doing $20.
I'm sure he's got like 20 of those guys.
I mean, even if they're all doing $20, 20 times 150, it's not really...
What a fall. What a fall.
The guy's probably got to do a real job.
He has to, yeah.
Thank you so much. I am surprised that you agreed to do it, but very delighted.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying.
So, okay, like this phony bullshit. After 18 minutes of just straight up white hatred, him, he can never be forgiven. Nothing he does is enough. He needs to cut some checks. Give us money.
And then he's like, oh my God, you're here.
Wow, I'm so glad you did this, King.
Shut the f*** up.
To expand my horizons a little bit. 2016 me, probably wouldn't.
Listen, I'm surprised 2023 you would do it either.
Poor
hell yeah, I appreciate that.
She's just so surprised that this ignorant, knuckle-dragging, white fucking ape from the caves of Europe managed to fucking dine. Like, just somehow managed to, like, stop drooling in a bucket in a cave to come on her show to be enlightened. I'm surprised that you're here because I think you're just such a piece of shit. Like, you would never do this. And, like, the guy has tears in his eyes.
He's crying.
He knows, like, this is a humiliation ritual. He's here to be humiliated. He's here to be castrated. He's here to be whipped through the streets for being white and being a man. And he's like, okay, honey, Lanisa, make sure to peg me after. It's really going to turn me on. Like, is he really turned on by this? Or is it just like, what is this? Is this a sexual fetish? Is this a humiliation kink? Or is this just that he's just a pathetic and he's just...
I have a question for you. How much times a month do you think Anissa f***ed him?
I don't think she does.
I think he's in like a chastity cage, once, twice, maybe. No blowjobs.
No, never.
The BJs are done. Listen,
it's off the menu.
I don't care if your woman is an SJW. All right. If you are this guy, they will stop sucking your cock. They will.
He looks just greased too, man. It looks like he hasn't washed his hair or brushed his teeth in weeks, man.
Take that as a compliment.
Yeah, listen, I honestly want to start off by saying that
it wasn't a compliment. It was a
looks like a rat human, like a splinter.
Yeah,
or
he
something.
looks subhuman, man.
The fact that you were even trying to take all the accountability and the ownership of it all. I respect that you were even coming over to my side of the internet to come talk about it because I am very much so a racial investigator and
racial investigator.
So
she's a detective to find out if you're racist or not. She just looks at you. She's got like the Family Guy thing where it's got the shades of your skin and it's racist or not racist. And unfortunately, iDubbbz, it looks like you're 2 shades too white, son. So you are racist. Racial investigator out here.
Real Nancy Drew.
Oh, man.
Letitia Drew.
In characters, I'm like, and I try to be really transparent because I don't like to ambush people or anything like that. It's not my steez. I don't enjoy it. I don't like stressful content or stressing people out. So that's why I'm like, let me go in.
You don't like stressful content?
This stresses me out.
All your shows are about race. It's pretty stressful.
To it and be as transparent as possible. I want to be as nice as possible without being accused of being too nice, while also being as transparent.
So listen, like I don't want to be too nice because all the people that watch me hate whites. So we can't be too nice. Just gonna let you know that.
About what are some of my takeaways and thoughts, and also giving you the opportunity to expound.
Look at how he just looks down.
He's crying.
He literally is just looking down, totally bitch-made, submissive, hunched posture. She's looking straight ahead, just smiling, dabbing. I mean, this is like a lion playing with its food.
Yeah.
That's what's going on here. She's like pretending she's going to be nice. This guy knows he's about to get a paddling.
You know what this facial expression, I've made it before. You know what it is? It's when I'm drunk and I've run out of cigarettes.
Yeah.
I'm just like...
It's over.
I can't drive to the store.
For the next 20 minutes, he's about to get railed. Bent over a fucking barrel.
I work to a good place.
Yeah, you have a very tough job. I don't. I know what you mean. You got to walk a line.
You get it. You get it. Exactly.
Victim. You have to get tough job.
It's
crying,
a tough job being a victim. It's tough being
checks.
a black woman demanding reparations from white people. I know.
By the way, you notice when Francesca Ramsey was like, "I don't need your check," she didn't say anything. She's like, "Well, hang on.
I need a check.
Hang on."
So basically, let me tell you the starting how we ended up here. So I went to a Creator Clash with my boy Alex, and funny enough, he actually had tried to fill me in on the controversy.
Pardon me. The Snark Tank is with some black guy and with Chris Ray Gunn, and they do what looks to be an episode a week.
Of Snark Tank.
Get 12,000 views, 14, 16, 20, a month ago 14. And the newest episode's called Al Bundy is the GOAT. It's true.
Wow, riveting.
Never care about anything. So this is how the conversation went. He invited me to come to Creator Clash. He called me to be like, hey, just so you know, there is a little bit of controversy. He's got some edgy content in the past. And I said, is edgy white people speak for racist? And he said, he said yes. And I said, okay. And I said, all right. And that was all my, because let's.
So the Snark Tank, they have 1,142 members on Patreon.
There it is.
There it is.
I'm of the mindset we live in America. We live in a racist society. We live in these kinds of things. I am not putting it on you as an individual or anything like that. And I don't really want to take an individualistic approach to.
Yeah.
No, you're not an individual that made your own decisions. Society made you this way. Just because you're white, of course you're racist. You have no control over that.
Yeah. Look at his. Oh my God. Did he age while I was looking away?
Listen, man. Being put through this interrogation and being dragged through the fucking ringer by this bitch will age you 5 years a second.
Yeah. It's like the rain.
This is like
Death
having
Stranding.
to put up with your fucking bitch girlfriend nagging at you, but times a million, because you're not even gonna get laid. You're just getting fucking reamed for no fucking reason, and you just have to keep listening to it and going, yes, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for being white. It's just so embarrassing.
Trying to nail you to the cross. I more so just want to see different things, and I think patterns.
The cross. Ian, just stretch out your hands. Listen, if he puts nails through his hands for them, is that enough? No.
Is that enough? Yeah. No,
if he actually went up on a literal cross, if he didn't die, it wouldn't be enough. Only his death. And even then, people should still piss on his grave for his racism.
It can make it better for some people to understand what are issues black people have with certain content or going forward in these kinds of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where I'm coming from. So I saw the apology, watched the whole video. And
How funny.
By the way, he's not even allowed to get a word in edgewise.
Yeah,
he's not even allowed to speak. He's just getting lectured. This is his professor, and he's a fucking child.
He's in a Zoom call.
Yeah.
During COVID.
All right, hold on. I gotta take a fucking shit. Can we just pause it here?
Welcome to part 2.
Oh, man. All right, this is hell.
I have to split them up, by the way, everyone, because people like a smaller file size for downloads and shit. It's easier, right? Than getting it's 20 gigs too big. Okay, suck my balls. How about that? Anyway, where were we?
We're in the midst of hell. Just hit play.
I bet.
I texted both Alex and my editor, and I said,
Andy, just hit play.
This is the best of them I've seen. As far as apology videos and seeing content creators
look at him. His hopes are up. I say, oh yes, Mistress, was it the best apology you've ever seen? Oh, am I a good boy? Am I a good boy, ma'am? It's just look at how pathetic he is. Look at his look at him. His hands clutched together, literally begging forgiveness. He's just so excited. Oh my God, I'm being validated by a black woman. She's saying it was the best white boy apology she's ever seen.
That's pathetic.
Holy
sad. Pathetic.
It really is.
Public figures make apologies. I thought it was the most accountable I've ever seen it be. So I want to give you all the credit for that.
That's great to hear. For me, it's been a huge relief because I think for me, it's even though I was taking a stance on, using slurs and, being very just not wanting to be responsible for how other people felt, me existing in the world and, trying to, live outside of my bedroom at home.
He has to be responsible for how other people feel.
But what's he saying? I have to live outside myself to what?
very challenging to interact with people without feeling some amount of guilt of like, have you seen my videos? You know, how would you interpret what I've said? Yeah. And, you know, how...
Who gives a what people think about your videos? You're not God. You didn't write scripture.
He's not an important person.
You're not like a
he's not a political figure. He's not a philosopher. He's not anything.
An author.
He's like a guy who ate dead rats off the side of the road with Filthy Frank and ate a hair cake. Ugh. That's who he is. Like, that's who he is. Ugh. And then he did some video essay hit pieces on people.
Like, if you were a politician, fine. If you were an author,
why does this standard like have to exist just like to even survive in any sort of position? Like, really?
It's so stupid, bro.
This black woman gets to decide who's able to speak or not, who's able to have an income or not, who's forgiven of their racism sins. Just like, look at her. She's fucking disgusting.
Ew, she's gross.
Have I made you?
I actually think iDubbbz is more disgusting, though. He's just so pathetic, groveling before this monstrosity of femininity. Like, it's fucking...
I don't understand this.
A desolation of abomination here.
You know, so he works out boxing, right? Buddy, do some shoulder press. Like, really? You're at the gym all day, every day? You don't just, like, lift a weight? Like, he's the hardest working, skinniest man I've ever seen in my life. Like, seriously, bro.
You know,
But Andy, boxing doesn't correlate with... Okay, fine, but just do a shoulder press for me, please.
Interaction after interaction, it kind of added up to me saying, like, yeah, something needs to be said.
Yeah.
At least.
And I feel that, and I understand that, and I very much so am glad that you at least even came to that spot, because that's more than most ever do. But what I guess I wonder is, why not then? Because a trend I've realized very often, I see this in a space...
Because it was then!
Oh, just keep playing it.
Okay,
it's a lot, is a tendency for, you know, white content creators to be called out for things present day that were racist and bigoted then. But there were always black people and people present and marginalized people telling them that then. Why not hear it when they say it?
I think generally, I think for me, it was, I think a sort of a policy or like a just very black and white thinking. Like as soon as because for me, I think it's about caring about how other people are feeling, period. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily just
This is such a bullshit answer, and she ought to just press him on this. Because this is pathetic. Why didn't you, when the black people that have said they had a problem with it then, stop right then and there when you knew you hurt black people? Well, it's black and white thinking, I don't know, like just
It's rambling.
Just press him for his pathetic bitch-made behavior here. He ought to just get on his knees right then and there and just say, I was a racist. Forgive me. I hated black people. Just cry out to the sky. Just cry out to the sky and like just pray that God forgives you for the horrible crimes you've committed.
As people, I think I personally had an issue with like caring about people's feelings at all, because I felt like as soon as I would open that door, then like I felt like I would be a lot less safe.
Because if you care about how other people are gonna feel about everything, like, oh my God, what if somebody feels this, hears this, and then they kill themselves? You'll be paralyzed completely. Like, what if this causes somebody to feel bad about themselves? I made a fat joke, and now a fat person feels bad and killed them. I can't say that. I can't say this. I can't say anything. You know, like that's the like path that it goes down, where if you're responsible for every action people take, regardless of whether or not they would have taken it if they heard your words or not, like you're
exactly.
I'm responsible for everything everybody in my audience does. No, you're not. You're a entertainer. You're a slight distraction during their day, where they take 20 minutes or an hour after their shitty shift or school day or whatever bullshit, and they just try and be distracted by you. That's what you are. You're not their guiding light in life. You're not the most important thing in your life. You're not what's going to cause them to like murder people or kill themselves or be depressed. Like, this is crazy.
This is actually nuts. This is nuts.
To, you know, do and say whatever I wanted, and now that's kind of like an in, I guess, for people to criticize, or an in for, you know, people to, you know, because I'm essentially exposing myself as like, oh, I'm now thinking about how other people are feeling, you know, and, but I guess to your point.
No, you were thinking about how they felt, you just didn't give a f.
Yeah.
Why don't you just say, I didn't give a f about how people felt because I didn't feel like it was my responsibility to care how they felt.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Easy answer.
But now I realize that I'm a groveling cuckold bitch because my wife pegs me up the ass. So now I realize I have to come on and lick the feet of some black bitch. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't have any black friends. I have some friends who are people of color, but, you know, it's never... I grew up in Southern California.
Oh,
and
yeah, no, Southern California doesn't have any black people or black friends. Southern California doesn't just have the literal biggest population of black people anywhere. This side of Africa, man. It's all black and Mexicans in SoCal. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I grew up in Compton. There wasn't a lot of opportunities to meet black people in Compton and Inglewood.
And I'm certain if I grew up...
Wait, so he still has no black friends?
Yeah.
Around more black people, I wouldn't have
Where
felt
would you
nearly...
have like where would you have found more black people than SoCal? Alabama, I guess? Like, I don't fucking know, dude. Like, there's no black people in the state of California. It's not like you grew up in Norway. Like, what a weird cope. Like, if I was her, I'd be like, sorry, what did you just say? Really? What an excuse.
Things that I was saying.
Funny, you're so right. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
And, I think the more interactions that I've had with black content creators...
Yeah. No cookie for you.
She's coddling him. She should say, no cookie for you.
Yeah.
Loser.
And just, regular everyday.
She has the first microphone I've ever used.
He's one of the worst orators I've ever heard. He's one of the worst speakers ever.
Yeah.
He's unable to string any sentences together without going, I was just thinking, and it's just terrible.
There's no charisma.
There's no conviction. There's no passion to anything he's saying.
Yeah.
He's just pulling it straight out of his ass.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Whatever cope he can think of to try and justify his behavior but still be really sorry for it is what he's going with.
Yeah.
Woe is him. He was the victim. He didn't grow up around black people in Southern California.
People, the more I've realized, like, this matters.
Yeah. So,
does it?
And I don't say this as an indictment. I say this as a transparent thing that we would all.
You do say it as an indictment. Like, whenever you gotta say, I don't say this as, it is
It is the thing. No offense, but.
And I appreciate your answer because I think your answer allows me to, like, more clearly parse that out as I didn't care. And I don't mean that in a,
Yeah, you didn't care. Thank you.
Didn't care.
But didn't care. These are not people that and that was something I think kind of.
You didn't care about black people. Felt it.
Right? Because
look at him.
In watching.
He's scary looking.
He's like a pathetic insect.
What a
This guy isn't worth the shit on my shoes.
I would piss on him.
In your video, a thing I wanted to ask you about was how come Tana, of all the you only singled out one person.
Tana, not Tanya.
Person to apologize to. Why her?
That's actually like a good thing. I didn't know that.
I think because I kind of just took it to like another level. Because I think a lot of commentary channels, they can feel very comfortable and justified in speaking about a variety of topics because they're not like in person harassing people, and a lot of them are avoiding saying like.
I think it's time. I think it's time. All right.
The slurs, like I was saying, they're keeping it to like a certain level where they look.
Hey, here's how you know he's a bad speaker. When you put out 1.5,
and it still
sounds slow as.
It's slow.
Around their community, and they're saying like, well, I'm not doing anything like that
slow.
polarizing. I'm kind of I'm riding the line a little bit more.
What?
And I think for Tana specifically, she was, I think, the youngest person I've made a video about. And I don't know, it was just,
but
she was,
white.
I guess she was.
But she white, so she don't matter. Do you get it, Ian?
Bro, how the is he talking so slow at 1.5? This is actually like, it's shocking me.
Also I think the worst part about it is going to her meetup, because she was in what would feel like a safe space. She's already putting herself out there at a meet and greet. I wouldn't even do meet and greets. She was doing a meet and greet, and I jump scared her, and you know, who knows what my intentions were. She had no idea. No one there knew what my intentions were, and that's a scary situation to be in. That's horrible.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely valid. You're right. There is a fair situation to that, and that makes me think of Francesca Ramsey.
But now, why didn't you apologize to Francesca?
Yeah,
this is what it's really about.
I've spoken with. She tells us a story about being terrified in the airport when she runs into one of your fans.
When I encountered one of his fans in the airport, I had to ask myself, am I going to exit this conversation and continue to have my life? You know what I mean? Like, like
really?
Hey,
really? So iDubbbz makes people fear for their lives. He created a terrorist army of incel trolls.
Yeah.
Who terrorized Francesca, threatened her life with knives
in the airport.
In the airport. One of the safest places to be.
Like literally
There's
the safest.
There's so much security. It's up the ass.
And
cops
everywhere.
But yeah, she had to fear for her life because there was an iDubbbz.
Well, in every airport, a lot of like police have like assault rifles.
Like they have to take it to that extreme. Like
at the airport,
you know, she could have just said, "I wasn't sure if he was going to attack me or what he was going to say,
or say the N-word to me,
or,
maybe, you know,
or what." But it's immediately I was fearing for my life.
Yeah.
Come on, were you though?
No.
But women will tell you they fear for their life every day. So
true.
My life could be in danger, right? Like, and so, you know, again, that's why when there's all of these conversations about don't call me.
I watched the Content Cop and I killed 3 blacks in Southern California. What the?
If iDubbbz kills himself, is it enough?
Yeah.
Like, how torturous does his death have to be
to
make up for this terrorist at the airport that he created? Did the terrorist blow up a plane as well? Did he hijack it and crash it into fucking Obama's house? Did he assassinate Jay-Z? Like, what other crimes did iDubbbz commit against black people? Like, we need to litigate it today.
Karen, and don't call me white, and don't call me racist. It's like when those names are used, your feelings are hurt. But when someone calls me the N-word, I have to wonder, is this person going to try and kill me? Am I going to lose my life right now?
Who comes up there and says,
did someone at the airport call her the N-word? No!
Holy I don't know. If some fucking really aggressive black Israelite guy came up to a white woman, "Hey, Karen, the fuck you doing, racist white bitch, cracker Karen? The fuck you think this is, bitch?" You don't think she'd fear for her life?
Yeah.
As much as you fucking having me come up and call you the N-word?
Like, fucking shut up.
I know you from iDubbbz videos and the fear she felt in not knowing what this person is for her. And I think why I asked a ton of questions is this. And I think you're right to apologize. I don't think you're wrong to
ask the question.
I think what I really want to unpack is the decision to apologize her exclusively, because if you watch that video as someone like me who didn't watch your content and who isn't familiar of the larger array, you would think that this is the only person, you know, or maybe the way I read it was, okay, he's been in trouble for using this kind of language and racial slurs and all this, but the only person he individualizes is a white woman. And he says, you know, he apologizes maybe to the black community in large, and it would lead you to believe that no black person was individually picked on or targeted, and that's not the case. And I think what I find interesting is that even in apologizing for doing racist things, a white woman is who was apologized to, as though there weren't black people who were called
There you go.
And I wonder, because that took me down a rabbit hole of
why don't you
watching,
punch
you know,
yourself
videos,
in the
and I
sack?
saw content.
She should tell him to do it. If she told him to punch himself in the balls he would do it.
Yeah. No, he wouldn't probably. He would.
You have no choice.
Yeah.
Because he submitted himself to this framework and this, like, sick dichotomy where
Twisted.
no matter what he says, he's guilty and he doesn't deserve to live. No matter what he does, he doesn't deserve to live or breathe oxygen or have money or have a good life.
Even he's like,
really?
Wait, so I gotta... Now what?
Pop you did on Jinx.
On camera.
You don't get a break in the beginning. No resting. 100% 24/7 grind.
Damn, this is on the grind. That shirt shouldn't say, "It's about that time." It should say, "It's about that grind." 4 videos a day, non-stop editing. I'm like an animator. I put so much work in my videos. I'm like sitting there keyframe after keyframe, trying to figure out how to put this video in the corner of my screen. Grind.
This guy was able to speak.
Yeah?
This guy was able to do sentences, articulate himself. It was making sense, the things that he's saying. It's kind of funny.
It's high energy.
What happened?
This
is fucking sad. Like, it was all just taken from him, and he's
gone.
just a shallow, like a hollowed out person.
Mad grind. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Nothing but grind. I'm on the grind. My house is
Is
a normal
this
house.
really like a racial hatred, or is this like shitting on
He
grind
said the N-word with a soft
Sigma male culture? Oh no. Oh no, the horror of it
Oh
all.
man.
Oh
You
no.
gotta eat, sleep, and shit, YouTube.
You gotta suck dick and shit, YouTube. Oh, it's so motivational.
holy shit, oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right now.
I like how they go after him, but not like Nick Fuentes.
I know.
Yeah,
it's because Nick's not on his knees, like just submitting himself to a paddling.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like at least Nick has the fucking spine to not be like, you know what? I'm gonna just go and just worship at the feet of this black woman.
Yeah.
And just submit to her judgment and let her do whatever she wants to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like this is fucking pathetic, man. Like keep it in the bedroom. If he's into getting emasculated, just keep it in the bedroom, bro. Like I don't need to see this shit.
Yeah.
This is just get pegged and shut up.
This is gross, dude.
Bed, I'm gonna set up the camera and I'm gonna watch some videos, editing that shit. What am I, dude? You gonna edit your video? No, what do I look gay?
And I wonder why a Jinx wouldn't receive an apology. Someone
he
or
used
what,
the word.
Credit.
Oh my God.
Why does Jinx deserve an apology just because he's black?
What about Keemstar?
Well, he's not black.
What about
I mean, he might be Jewish, but
I mean, he probably is.
For this in your apology, I actually did really like this, the part where you acknowledge I didn't feel comfortable in my own ability to be funny or my own ability, my own personality or whatever it is, and so I leaned on this, and I get that, and because on some level, on a human level, I understand things, but on a content creator, on a public figure level of making things, I understand what it is to have insecurities, and I respect. I think it's big to admit that, but on the other level, I think to myself, well, did you know that then, right? Are you aware now of this insecurity, or did you know it then? And if so, why is the same not grace shown to a person like Jinx when you decide to make a content cop about them? And, you know, basically what you're honing in on is saying is they're untalented or there isn't work that goes into their videos, right? Why isn't it sufficient enough to have your platform, right? You already have your platform that is in some way being boosted and made on this kind of bigoted content. That's one thing to exist in that space, but to not allow this other black creator to exist. And in the same way,
bitch, he said sorry.
Well, what black creator is he not allowing to exist?
Jinx.
But he's not allowing him to exist. He
made
just
fun
made
of
a
him.
video.
Yeah.
you call these black people, you call black people themselves the N-word, but they aren't singled out in the apology, and I wonder why it is that that's the case. Love it.
They can't stand to see us, and this is not just exclusive to black people, this is marginalized people.
So this bitch just took Francesca Ramsey's talking points, wrote them down, and is just like presenting them as
as fact. And like iDubbbz is just like, yes, Massa, you're right.
Well,
and it's just, he's not even fighting back. He's just not even defending himself.
Yeah.
And it's just painful to watch. It really is.
Like the fact, like if he hadn't even just, if he hadn't apologized, none of this would have happened.
He just keeps apologizing. That's the problem.
Sorry.
It's never enough. They'll always be like, where's more money? Like, I need more money. I need more groveling. This isn't good enough.
Happening during Pride, right? This idea that if I think you are less than me, how dare you like yourself? Exactly. How dare you be happy? How dare you be successful?
Yes.
When throughout history, I've been told that my whiteness and me doing the bare minimum is the standard.
Yes.
And now y'all taking my jobs, you taking my views, you out here taking my partners. Like you are living the life that I'm supposed to have.
Yes.
And I'm just minding my business.
Mm-hmm.
What black person took it away from iDubbbz?
I think,
like, what black person has just hustled all of iDubbbz shit and like his like hatred and insecurity of black people because some black person, like, is it Judeon's fault? Is it KSI? Like, whose fault is it?
No,
like,
it's Dean.
Yeah, what black creator stole the bag from iDubbbz to make him hate black people this much?
You know what I mean? Like, no.
I don't understand. Like, I don't even understand what the point of that segment was. It doesn't even relate to this. Was it Jinx? Was it just iDubbbz's incredible jealousy of Jinx's success? Was that it? iDubbbz just looks so buck broken right here. Like,
He's gonna cry.
He should.
He should, yeah.
He may as well just start crying out of his eyes and just be like, please, let me live.
Varying degrees that I've made content cop videos on. I think they deserve, their own apology in their own way. I think Jinx is definitely one of them. I think the type of content he was making, in the same way that I felt, I guess it wasn't necessarily that, Jinx making reaction content, like, nowadays that's like, it's commonplace, right? So, he, in a lot of ways, initiated that trend. And I think, the content I was making, it was just, it was cheap, I think, in kind of the same way that some people can view reaction content as cheap. So I think in a lot of ways I am guilty of what I was criticizing Jinx for. I was being very, just generally uncaring. And like I said, I was insecure about my ability to entertain. And
pathetic.
I think, Jinx deserves his own apology, and I'm open to,
why don't you apologize to him right now?
Whatever.
How much money are you gonna give him? How much money? That's what it's about.
Oh shit.
So
you're gonna write the check out to?
She needs to press him. So where are the checks at from black people?
That would be so funny if that's how this all ended.
Yeah, I mean, because listen, I think something. I don't think it's that there's an aversion to forgiving you, right? Like if I think of myself as a proxy representative.
So she's the proxy representative for
Jinx.
all black people and Jinx.
And there's no way to forgive you.
No.
Let's hear that again.
For the black community, I don't think it's that there's an aversion to forgiving you, right? Like if I think of myself as a proxy
Oh,
representative.
there isn't aversion. Okay.
The black community right now. I don't think it's that anybody has the aversion to forgiving you. I think it's the recognition that it doesn't matter whether we do or don't. Because if we had the ability to cancel you, you wouldn't have been successful in the first place. Because black people have a problem with you now, had a problem with you then. They were just being ignored. And so similarly, what I think is the thing that I really want to unpack is that you're allowed to apologize, whether or not you don't or you do come forward. And I appreciate the way you approach it.
I'm sorry, black people are not ignored. When black people complain, they get listened to instantly because everybody is afraid of getting canceled for racism. You guys don't know what it like. Maybe 50 years ago or 30 years ago or even 20 years ago, maybe black people were ignored.
Yeah.
But it's not so today. Mm-hmm. Because with social media now, it's so easy to whip up a hate mob or a fucking black, like, for any black cause. There's just tons of people on black Twitter who will, like, righteously, yeah, I'm fighting for you, da-da-da-da. And all these corporations fear getting canceled on Twitter so fucking bad that they just bend over fucking backwards for whatever dumb shit you guys are crying about today.
You guys are on the fucking trans flag, for fuck's sakes. You're basically trans people, but black.
That you've taken and that you've chosen to on your own without a larger controversy be forced to. But the thing is, what I noticed when I went down the deep dive is most of the black people that you did single out are no longer making YouTube videos. They're no longer content creating in one way or the next. They've in some way been run off the platform or been terrified through years.
So it's iDubbbz.
Yeah, no, iDubbbz needs to pay them millions in reparations for the incredible YouTube careers that they would have had.
Terrified, he ran.
Jinx was going to be lynched by the digital clan
that
iDubbbz
reactors
created.
There are 1 billion.
Harassment. Francesca was harassed so much that it's a part of her Wikipedia page. Is that she's went through a series of harassment. And I think that's what's notable to me, because I watched Tana's response to your apology, and she talks about how she also respected it and how she would be open to a world where she talked to you and how she herself has been canceled and her different pivots. And I think that is the thing that really is the ire of the community, and seeing that is that you have the ability to make a platform on bigoted content, attack a black content creators doing similar things, or basically target them.
It's like the fifth time. Yeah. He knows. You just know.
He knows. He really wants to drop the hard R.
Yeah, like that's the old
iDubbbz. You can
iDubbbz.
look into his eyes there, and he's just seething. He's like, man, because he knows the truth about all this shit.
Yeah,
he knows. But the thing is, he's like, I'm really here right now, having to take this shit from this untalented, worthless bitch.
Having $5 million in the bank and
signing up for this.
Buddy,
just get off the internet.
Just go to a resort. Just live in a island and have fun for the rest of your life.
I don't know, man.
Well, why are you here? How much money do you need?
Is this real? Is it worth it?
Your soul, your health, your mental well-being. Fuck off.
Them as not talented or not this or whatever it is. And essentially,
if you were poor, fine.
You can see the tension, like, in his jawline, in his neck.
Yeah, like right here. Look at this. He's about to burst.
Run them off the platform. But white content creators, even the ones guilty of doing those things, are able to pivot. And I think that's the thing that worries people, and like something I've been mulling over and how to go about this, because sometimes you worry that, well, if I say it's okay or if you forgive people, then it incentivizes other people to do the same. Like, what is to say there aren't going to be, because it happens all the time of people saying, I want to do something and I don't think I have the talent to do it. I don't think I have this. So let me make my platform on punching down, and I will be able to at a later date say sorry and move on.
I think that's an extremely valid fear, and I think that's kind of what, from what I heard from Francesca, that would be, that's really frustrating, and I don't think it's fair. I think,
where are the checks?
Like, it's good for people to change, obviously. I think the level that, like, I would say the response that I've gotten anywhere from, one end of the spectrum where, like, commentary channels are saying, like, I don't think he has any reason to apologize, to, like, maybe Francesca Ramsey at the other end saying, like, this isn't, like, even close to being enough.
Yeah.
Because a lot of, black creators and black people in general have had to deal with the environment that, me and, other creators have made. And
okay, so, you didn't create anything. Like, this environment that you created. Like, did you create the systemic racism in society? Like, are you responsible for the white cis patriarchy that's holding everybody down? Like, really? Is he responsible for the police killing black people?
Or even like content creators who are super racist?
But it's all like this hubris and delusion of grandeur, as though he actually ever created it, like, or really influenced the culture. Really? Like, even the YouTube culture, like, his influence on it died, 5 years ago?
Yeah. Oh, it's gone.
It's been gone for
Forever.
years. But he created this culture that permeates to this day. That's his own delusion of grandeur.
I think that entire range of reaction is appropriate.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, for me, it's sort of expected, right? Because I think a lot of the people who say that I shouldn't have apologized or something like that, they are so far from, like, arriving to where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I totally get Francesca's feelings of, like, you can't, like, undo 5-10 years of harassment that I've received. Like, so I get it. I wish, I mean, all I can think of, at this point is to communicate my headspace and, like.
See, Francesca talks about, like, harassment, 5-10 years of harassment. But every public figure receives harassment.
True.
When you go out into the world to talk politics and religion and talk about race specifically, you're going to get pushback. You're going to get fucking shit on. It doesn't matter what your position is. But when you're going to go to those hot button, hot topic issues and start fucking around with them, you're going to get crazy come after you. And that's just the way it is. We get that shit all the time.
I'll even do you one better. Like, the most wholesome content creators get shit on.
Yeah.
The most wholesome, try not to push anyone's buttons.
But like, does Francesca Ramsey, when she makes a show like MTV Decoded, does she not think it's highly provocative?
Yeah.
Like, it's a provocateur program designed to piss off reactionaries and create a loop where people are hate watching it and boost her name based off of hate.
Parasitical, like, relationship.
Yeah, it's a parasitical relationship between her sort of SJW bullshit and like the Nazi anti-SJW. And they can only exist in a perpetual culture war conflict with each other that's all about profiteering off of race and about everybody's differences. So there's really no difference between her grift and iDubbbz grift. It's all the same fucking grift.
Yeah, exactly.
She's just the other half of it.
Yeah, no, exactly.
But it's, oh my God.
Where I was at the time, and how I came to terms with, like, understanding, like, my role and responsibility in our community, and just, like, communicate that to people, because that's as close as I can get to, like, undoing things or, like, fixing things.
Yeah. And how did you, like, when you made the final decision that you were going to make the video, like, that this is it, like, what happened there?
I think there's been a lot of things.
Well, Anissa came to me with a script and
and a whip and a knife, and she goes, "You're going to make this fucking video."
Number one, I think, like, doing this whole Creator Clash thing has opened my eyes to it in a big way. I think
it's either he's, I was gonna say, it's either like he does feel bad, or Anissa, like, does suck his dick 24/7. Or he's a bait.
I have no idea what's going on. It's just this person, like, has completely hollowed out and changed everything about him.
Yeah.
And it's just weird.
Man, it's like the craziest, like, version of a beta male right now.
I've had to interact with, boxing is a community that has a lot of marginalized people in it. There are a lot of black people in boxing, Mexicans. I mean, it is super popular around the world. And
my dad loves boxing.
Yeah.
There's black people and Mexicans.
Yeah, I mean, I've had to, interact with different people.
Really, black people box? I didn't know. Mike Tyson,
Muhammad Ali, Joe Louis,
Foreman.
Lennox Lewis, George Foreman.
Yes!
Floyd Mayweather.
We know. You know what I mean? By the way, black people love boxing. Really?
Wow.
The greatest boxers of our time, Mike Tyson.
Well, all the best boxers
are black. You know what I mean?
Black. There's a couple great white hopes in there, but that's why
they're
called the Great White Hope, because the black man's basically been running boxing ever since it was created, and then ever so often comes like the great white hope that sometimes wins but most of the time loses.
By the way, black people, they're good at football and basketball, huh?
Oh, black people are good at physical stuff.
And then they go, well, it's like white people own the team, so it's like slavery. Okay.
We did an early life check on some of these
Remember
white
the call-in show? We did one episode here on Gumroad, and we gave up. Like, we couldn't even...
Oh, I could have kept watching it. I've seen that whole show. It's...
God. Ashton.
What?
For Gumroad, that black-white show?
Yeah.
I showed you the first sentence of that.
Oh, God.
Guys, wait till you watch. That show's insane.
It is.
It's good, dude. It's fucking based.
Like, small bubble of like commentary YouTubers on YouTube. Like, that's very small. They're coming from like the same world that I come from. And it just makes my confidence in a lot of these like ideas that I've developed over the years be like less and less confident in them, because it's like, oh, holy shit, like these are real people, and they're as compassionate, and I don't know. It's just
get it out.
I mean, I went to so I was the only black girl in my senior class. So I have been people's many white person's first introduction to a black person that in any way departed from a caricature or a stereotype they had in their mind. And I think, listen, I actually think you're in a better position.
Because we were all watching minstrel shows when we were 12. Like, are you kidding me?
I'm really sorry, but like the idea that there's just only like 4 black people that exist. And there's just no black people, that white people just can never interact with black people ever.
Or on TV.
That's not so. Or there's never been a positive depiction of a black person on television. Really? Like, are you
I was the first black person they saw that didn't have like the red lips and the fully black face.
Sorry, it's not 1890.
You know what I mean?
I mean, like, this shit is to even say in the 80s.
I know.
Let alone in the 2020s. Like, man, this is crazy talk. You were white people's first experience with blacks. Yeah. If only they could be so lucky.
That wasn't a caricature. We were all like watching them, all those minstrel shows that you'd head on a field trip to.
The only white person. There are tons of white people, even the ones I'm sure condemning you, guilty of similar behavior, or at the very least being complicit on the spectrum of racism. So you're not alone. You're in a country full of company, right?
Spectrum of racism.
You see, you're like you chill with the racist people because you're white.
Yeah, so you're white. You're just a piece of garbage.
In fact, very often, I think, when we talk about racism, all kind of white people, if they were able to, if there were video logs of their platform or how they lived their life, I'm sure they have a community of black people who would be upset or who they've wronged or they've fostered attitudes and things too. But they don't have the benefit, I think, in your case.
So why don't we just put a camera in every black person's house, right? And see how they live. I'm sure we'd be really astounded and impressed. I'm sure we'd all be really impressed with how black people live. They would never fail the goon alarm test. Never.
Beep.
Of knowing who and what. Like, you can't contain, once you spread like toxicity, you can't spread what your audience does. You can only try to course correct, and I respect that you're doing that, right? Anything about whatever black people were on the receiving end of, who your audience members or those things. But you do know which individual black people, that you made content cops about or that you singled out, and
wash, rinse, repeat.
What those videos
ask him for money.
Wash, rinse, repeat, the same shit.
You have a way to
have the balls to demand.
Just say sorry, Jinx. Just say it, Dubbz.
Definitively, concretely do some things, and
right,
especially when you tie it back to you earlier saying you have no black friends. And listen, even if you didn't tell me that, I knew that. I went to create a clash. So
I knew that. I went to the Creator Clash, and you have no black friends.
I knew. But I think there is a way to change that. You know what I mean? If you're a person, if you have the benefit.
Well, I don't think you're helping. I don't think he'll want a black friend after today.
No.
Look at him. That's the face that I make when I lose a save data. When I turned off the PS1 before the memory card. It's like, don't turn it off. And you turn it off, you're like, oh, it's corrupted, and you're looking at the save file, and you're like, no. That's his face.
Whether we like it or not, I can't crush your platform. Nobody else can either. You're going to have one. You're going to still have this audience. So if you have the benefit, your white privilege is that you have the ability to maintain your platform and continue to grow. I think a way that you...
only is white privilege that allows that, right?
Look at this. The old iDubbbz slowly sneaks out for a minute. Like every few minutes, like you just
like really
what
white
the
privilege.
You saying, you son of
step
a...
forward, a way you atone that is to change the lack of the way they're black people's platforms that you brought down. Bring some black people's platforms up. You know what I mean? And listen, in some respect, I will consider your presence here. You taking a...
So now he has to have like a whole network of black people?
And he has to spend his whole life raising up black people.
Step in to getting on the black side of the internet.
He has to be the white savior.
Because Jinx stopped making
black
videos?
People can't rely on themselves, right? They need iDubbbz to lift them up. Because
Jinx quit.
Yeah.
I do think that is a way you can concretely do something. Like, take a look at the private videos or whatever videos it is where you targeted whatever content creators and look and see how much did that make or what was this, and like sit down and try to like,
here we go,
piece by piece, what can we do about this? How can we reach out to these folks?
What can we do?
How can you reach out and pay them? How much did you make? Let's take that money.
Now let's figure out a plan here, right?
Let's get you on a payment plan. Look at him here. Look at how buck broken he is. Like, that's the face that Bernie Sanders made when he, like, hung his head in shame when the black women took his microphone. That's that, like, head hung, eyes closed, just shame.
Jinx fully erased his channel.
Good.
I'm glad. Jinx.
Wow,
sucked.
what a genocide.
And I think that can that shows some kind of material step, you know, like, you know what, I acknowledging that it's not just that you built your platform off of, you know, some bigoted content, because that's not innately the problem. It's that you also destroyed black platforms. And so I think,
yeah, you destroyed black platforms. You basically built your entire life on the suffering of black people. Basically, you were whipping black people in the fields. This is no different than slavery. Yeah, you're a slave owner, iDubbbz. You exploited these black people for money, ruined their lives, took away their voice.
You know what?
That's where a good place.
Crucify him.
Move forward, and that was an idea I wanted to bring to you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think that's a good idea, and I'm going to take your advice on that.
I think money away.
I'm going to take your advice on that. Look at it. He's going.
How
so
he makes destroyed
Ashton. He makes no money off boxing.
No.
None. He's been beat up twice. Lost it all. Not even like, he made no money, but he's like seen as a boxing god. No. Now, he has to take more money and make a black network of bringing up black, probably talentless hack black
That is
people.
Like the fucking, I hurt myself. Like, look at those two. Like, she's just beaming. She's so happy. She's so proud. She's so powerful. He's just browbeaten, submissive.
He's a millionaire.
Just broken. Like, this is a defeated, hollow man. Look at that.
Look, when your shoulders slump like this, Ashton, look, when your shoulders do, I can't even, like, there. That's his shoulders right now.
It's just a destroyed,
it's like this, like you're almost like, you know when a bear is attacking you and you have to, like...
Yeah.
You know, he's not like this. Where you're like, you're standing up, you're like, no, he's just like, somehow...
he has no pride in himself.
His like spine is like crumpling. His like shoulders are crumpling.
I was going to go on Tana's podcast.
Yeah.
What is your, I guess, I'm curious what your thoughts on doing that would be.
You should, because she's white.
I think you can do that. I don't think that there is a problem with you doing that, especially if that's somebody...
Excuse me, can I have your permission, Mrs. Black Woman? F*** her.
Like, this is ridiculous.
That bitch. This slut.
She has all over your life.
You know what, though? He's to himself. I don't even care. Honestly, I think that he's worse than her.
No, he is.
Because he's f***ing folding. Any man with pride would be like, F*** you, bitch.
He shouldn't be submitting himself to this. He's enabling her to do this.
Exactly. If he just went, how about this? How about you mind your own f***ing business, bitch? And then hung up the call.
Well, what would she even say? Well, because I'm black, I have a right to dictate your life?
You know? Could I have permission?
You singled out and you did do something there, and like I said, I don't think you're wrong to apologize or acknowledge a dangerous element or that. I don't think that will warm the hearts of the communities, the particular marginalized communities they feel impacted by, because I think there's still
you
gonna feel like the narrative will still be that a white woman was centered in all of this, and that
this video actually does a lot more harm for their community than it's positive. You want to know why? Because now anyone who might want to apologize and then watch this and go, oh, then never mind. I'll just like pretend it didn't happen. She's doing more harm.
Oh yeah.
Because now what people who were the N-word kings or queens back in the day are going to be like, well, I'm not going to apologize because this is what you get.
Yeah.
ultimately you're apologizing for saying a racial slur, black racial slur to a white lady. So I don't think you're wrong to do it. I think you can do multiple things. In the same way that you could sit down and talk to me, I think you can sit down and talk to Tana. So I think that's fine. I don't think you have to take that.
I think he could do whatever the he wants. He's a guy in the world, on the internet, internet. The lowest of the low. We are the lowest. We are the lowest form of entertainers in the world. Yet we are the most watched. You want to know why? Because we're real people. Yeah. We're not written by Hollywood. We're not like put on like billions of dollars. We're just people who are normal. That's why people watch us. He does not need a girls. It's really tough to not say that. Permission. This actually makes me beyond angry. Because in my mind, it's like when I apologized for Aim, right? Yeah. And some people are still like bitching about it. I'm like, you know what? How about this? I don't give a I'll shot or not. Suck my dick.
Well, because they never let it go, right?
They never let it go.
Always used to bludgeon you.
Every negative thing, and like we go after like people who still do the thing they do.
But you see, like those people don't have the public accountability, right? Like they might have dropped out of college, but you don't know. So it's like I could take whatever they did in their life and bludgeon them. Well, you dropped out of college, you fucking loser.
Yeah.
Or you did coke in your 20s, or you did this, or you did that, or you over this person, or you lie, or you stole. See, a lot of these people who watch this shit, they never think, well, what would my life be like if it was under this scrutiny, under this microscope, every little thing micro-analyzed and critiqued? But, you know, the reality is you just can't apologize for every thing in your life. If you really feel bad, you apologize, you try and do better.
Yeah.
But honestly, this whole thing is just performative humiliation ritual.
That's all it is.
This is just a play. Like, he's just an actor here, and his job is just to be a meek little bitch and be lectured by this black woman to virtue signal about how woke and changed he is now. But he's just the same person.
He's a guy. We're internet personalities. We are people who just say things, make videos, and da-da-da. Like, you're not like...
I don't know, man. This guy's a spineless worm. Let's finish this shit.
You aren't George Clooney who went on the N-word rampage. No, you're Ian.
He's a nobody.
But I think the same way you've made it. These are bold steps. Like I said, I want to give credit to that. Most people are not sitting down with me, okay? People are scared of me on a regular, even in court, okay? So I think it's just about you saying now, hey, maybe let me see how I reach out to a Jinx, or at the very least, even if you, because a lot of these people may not be receptive to talking to you. I know Francesca don't care to speak to you or anything like that. But I think there's a way that you can change a narrative.
Francesca don't care to speak to you. You ain't even the dirt on her shoe. Like, this
like
is
what I saw a lot.
Then her. How about this? I wouldn't even spit on Francesca Ramsey. I talked to her one time, and then we were trying to like make up, right? Remember on VidCon 2017? I make it her first podcast back is like shitting on me. So I made a whole video, destroyed her and shit. And then you know what she did? Quit the internet. Yeah. I got Francesca Ramsey to quit the internet. You're welcome, bitch.
Unfortunately, she's back.
Well, she's back. Well, not even really back. She's like, I don't know. She's a side character. Yeah.
There was a video. That's why I figured I watched a whole video on the end of Jinx's career, right? And that begins with Content Cap Cop is the beginning of the end for Jinx. And even because of the audience, we know this, being on Twitter, the popular opinion is who's got the biggest audience, right? Or who's the winner, who's still standing. And so because
by the way, if you quit the internet because of a video about you, that's your fault.
It's your own fault. You could have easily survived it. Most cases.
Everyone can. Yeah.
I mean...
You're the one that's still standing and Jinx has been run off the platform. The audience's perspective is like, he was stupid, he was prideful, he should have. I'm like, he's calling him every kind of N-word and you're mad at the man because he's upset. But I think there's a way that we can speak up for people, that you could say, hey, you know what?
Did he call him, did iDubbbz call Jinx every sort of N-word?
No.
Like, really? Like, this is crazy.
You know what I mean? Or that wasn't, that's not the right...
I think she's saying like the audience like called him the N-word or some shit.
Perspective to have that, because so much public perception changes whether or not we're able to succeed, and changing the public perception on Jinx is what killed him. So I think there's also a way that you can just kind of walk back some of these things, and maybe
Jinx fucking sucked balls.
If it wasn't iDubbbz, it would have been somebody else.
Everyone was making fun of him.
Everybody was already exposing him. It's just like the final pile-on with iDubbbz. But it wouldn't matter. Like H3 might have made a video, or Keemstar might have made a video. Somebody would have made
a video on him.
maybe that you didn't recognize in them then, recognize it now. Because think about if you felt the way you felt.
A lot of people who react now, I watch a lot of reactors and I like them. I think they're entertaining. What Jinx was like shitty at was he would hit play and he wouldn't say anything. He'd just watch the video. Most people will pause, like a professionally trained musician listens to Nirvana, and then they'll pause throughout the song and sort of give the breakdown about why it's good or bad and da-da-da. But Jinx sucked because he would just play the video, then end it, and that's it. Yeah. That's why. Not because he was black.
The things that you're going through, but also your platform was gone. Yeah. So I think that's a way, I think.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I don't know to the extent, like how much of this footage you plan on using for your video, but I did find out a couple months ago that Jinx has me blocked on Twitter. So if Jinx does come across this video, I'll
pause it. I just want to, like, something just came to mind, you know? Is this like, let's look at how uncomfortable, how f***ed up he is. Like, you know, I'm just glad he gets to experience this, especially after he put Sam Hyde in a fucking chair and started interrogating him about his fucking life and what a piece of shit he is.
Great point.
Now he can fucking feel it. And does it feel good, buddy? Does it feel good to have this high inquisitor of social justice that's just so morally above you, microanalyze every aspect of your life and demand certain reparations? No, it doesn't feel good. So why do you fucking get so high and mighty about Sam or about other fucking people? He's like, well, I've submitted myself to this. Like, this is pathetic, man. Have some fucking dignity. Have some fucking pride, dude. Like, what won't you do? Like, what won't you do to be a mainstream accepted person? Because they're never going to accept you. Like, look at this.
But let it be known, I'm down to
You're great. That's
speak with you. And even...
amazing point, by the way. You can't forgive Sam for his past, whatever his craziness. Well, look at you, buddy.
They're not going to forgive you.
Look at you, buddy. Look in the fucking mirror. That's a great point, dude.
Do it all publicly or whatever he'd like.
And I love that. Listen, I love that. The defense attorney in my heart. When I stumbled on the Jinx thing, I was like, listen, I'm years behind. I didn't know nothing about Jinx in 2015 of all of this, but I was like, he does not know it wherever he is in the world, but justice for Jinx. I was like,
so you just came in last year,
having no idea what the context of the situation was at the time, what people were saying, what their reaction to him was.
Why?
And by the standards of 2023, you go back at 2015 and go, this doesn't make sense. He shouldn't have been. Well, that's, again, you're not looking at the time frame of when this actually happened.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He was scrutinized not for being black, but for literally hitting play and just staring at a video and going,
No, 2015 was the height of Jim Crow, and he was whipped through the streets for being black.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad, and I'm really glad that you sat down with me. Is there anything in particular? I want to make sure that you're able to like say whatever you say, because I think this is the closest you can get.
Anything.
He said 7 sentences, I think. Yeah. I was gonna say that. He said me 7.
To talk directly to Cornbread.
Sit here and listen to a lecture about how he's worthless.
So, you don't know Cornbread Tube? Have you never heard that?
No, I haven't. I was like, what is that?
Oh, Brad Tube is the video essayist space, right? The general video essays, and Cornbread Tube is the black video essayist space.
Okay. Yeah. I've heard of Cornbread Tube. That's funny. I like that.
You get it. So if there's anything...
Oh, so a black joke.
Cornbread Tube.
Yeah.
You wanted to say to them directly, please, this is your moment.
I mean, maybe I'd have more to say if I was like familiar, but is there like more? Is there any like?
That's where everybody is. All of the cap blacks, or that's where.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's our side.
I guess I'll just say, like, out of the, the I've watched. I mean, I tend to want to stay away from.
We're sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
A lot of the reaction videos, stuff, my apology and stuff.
I'm sorry.
Mentally,
apology.
It's tough to deal with. Yeah. But there have been a few that I've watched fully, and Cat Black is one of the videos that I watched, and I mean, I would say
Black, that fat bitch. I hate her.
Out of any of the reactions to watch, in my opinion, it would be Cat Black's response, because she definitely comes from, obviously a perspective of, being someone this apology might be appropriate for, and she essentially says, like, hey, I'm probably not gonna watch, I'm not like an iDubbbz fan or anything, I'm probably not gonna watch any of his videos going forward, but I at least feel a little bit more safe if he's like at a convention, or we pass by each other or whatever, like I'm not gonna immediately dismiss him as like the racist guy or whatever. And that's, to be honest, like all I'm, all I could ask for in that case.
Good. Well, I appreciate that you. I really appreciate that you sat down. I appreciate the willingness to own it, because, like I said, it's just true. It's not just true about you. Like, I have my own white friends. We know. We call them up like, "Ooh, Mark, that was racist." He'd be like, "Oh, my fault." And you course correct. The only way that you can fix a problem is if you acknowledge it. It exists. We all have.
Imagine having a black friend.
I just sooner be dead. Like, just kill me.
Hey, hey, what's going on, Tanisha? Hey, that thing that was racist. I'm like, get the out of here.
Biases.
And then they'll say whatever, white boy,
you have
white
to spend
this,
your
white
whole life
that,
crawling
white
backwards over glass for them.
Yeah.
This is, and I can't rake you over the coals for what's been done, but what I wanted to do was maybe explain to you, I was like, if I seem to have a path or an ability to talk to him, let me give you some of my thoughts, and maybe that helps you better understand where the community comes from, and maybe other people listening to it and watching it that are open to that can get it too.
This wasn't a conversation. This was a lecture.
Yeah.
You went 18 straight minutes of just lecture, setting up why he's a piece of shit, why he should be killed. Then you finally bring him on like 18 minutes in. You do like a half hour with him where he's allowed to speak for maybe 3 minutes.
Yeah. If that. By the way, it was 3 minutes of like a minute and 50 seconds of it was him going,
This really is like a Spanish Inquisition. Like, this is like the Inquisitor, like, branding you with like a burning iron. Like, say you're not a Jew. Say you're not a Muslim. You're Catholic, right? And he just, yes, Inquisitor. And she's just so convinced of her own position of moral superiority and righteousness. She has the same level of moral certainty about her own position that a Catholic priest would have in the 15th century. Like, that's really who she is. She exists to be a high priest of this wokest religion and tell everybody about how great black people are, and she really believes it. And Ian here is just a pathetic that's bowed down to it and is just desperate to just be allowed to be an e-celeb. Like, off, man. You have your money, you could say no. But you're so fucking pathetic, spineless, worm-like, that you grovel to this high priest of wokeism so that you can have your sins forgiven if you pay the indulgences to her friends. If you cut checks to black people, then you can be somewhat forgiven. But if
not even fully, though.
No, but if you ever go against us in any way and don't just submit to us, then you aren't forgiven. So you're going to pay us to be subordinate to us and never say a word unless we approve it. And it's just pathetic. Be a man. Have some pride, bro. Holy Let's just finish it.
Yeah, I'm done.
These apologies. Yeah.
I super appreciate it. I think the you bringing up Jinx and other black creators that have been affected, I think is very appropriate. And I think you're right. I think he was the first person I did a content cop video on, and it's been a long time since then, and you're right. Like, a lot of these, I'm thinking about like Keemstar and even Rice Gum. Like, all these guys have been kind of continued to like push on because they are, I don't know, they're like cockroaches of YouTube. They just continue to like.
No, they're men.
Wow, they continue on. You're the cockroach.
You're the cockroach.
Look at him. He looks like a cockroach.
Oh man, can you believe it? They just kept going. Oh, you mean they had more balls than Jinx? Do you know how brutal Keemstar's content cop was? How brutal Rice Gum's cop? They were horrible. They were even worse than the Jinx one. I don't even remember the Jinx one.
Nobody does.
Like, make content, whether it be drama or anything else. So, I think it's easy to forget those who disappear off the internet and generally neglected. So I appreciate that. And also, if you if you ever need to get a white guy's perspective on
no, she just laughs.
Definitely like been there. I'm always available.
Thank you so much, Ian. I'm glad this went well. I believe it or not, I was a little bit nervous.
Hey. I mean, I'm trying. I was nervous too.
I thought you might have a little bit of a spine. I thought you might try and fight back a little bit. But no, you were just a complete boot-licking bitch. Thank you.
Raheem hasn't made an appearance in a while, and I thought y'all needed some wholesome.
Awful. Okay. That was one of the most painful experiences of my whole life.